They thought no one was watching. But the truth is, someone always is. And in the quiet corner of a film set, where the cameras had paused, where the crew had taken a break, where the lights dimmed just enough for shadows to stretch, something unforgettable happened. Tian Ning leaned in, closer than usual. And he whispered something to Ziyu. What he said was so soft, so fleeting, so hidden in the folds of everyday conversation, that no one was supposed to hear. But someone did. And that whisper changed everything. At first, it seemed ordinary. Two co-stars, standing side by side. A man and a woman who had spent months together under the pressure of bright lights, memorized lines, and choreographed emotions. They had perfected the art of pretending. Pretending to love. Pretending to argue. Pretending to cry. But as we've seen countless times in this industry, sometimes the line between acting and reality begins to blur. And on that day, in that quiet whisper, reality slipped out. Ziyu had been laughing. A small, genuine laugh. The kind that escapes when the guard is down. Her hand brushed against her co-star's sleeve, just lightly. It was nothing dramatic, nothing meant for the camera. And yet, in that moment, Tian Ning's gaze softened. Something unspoken passed between them. He leaned closer. His lips barely moved. But his words were enough to stop time. What did he say? Some swear he said, "You make this feel too real." Others insist he whispered, "You're mine," even when the cameras stop. But the truth, the real truth, only the two of them know. And perhaps that is what makes it so powerful. Let us step back. Because this whisper, this single instant, did not happen in isolation. It was the result of something building. A connection that had been quietly forming, scene after scene, late-night rehearsal after late-night rehearsal. There had been rumors before. Rumors that fans dismissed as wishful thinking. Of course they have chemistry, people would say. That's their job. But chemistry this real cannot be faked. Think about it. The way Ziyu's eyes lingered on him even after the director called cut. The way Tian Ning adjusted his stance, always turning slightly toward her, even in group interviews. The way their laughter seemed private, as if they shared a joke the world wasn't supposed to know. And now, this whisper. The final thread connecting speculation to possibility. Imagine Ziyu's heart in that moment. The cameras weren't rolling. The crew was distracted. She had let herself relax, just for a second. And suddenly here was Tian Ning, his voice brushing against her ear, carrying words that felt too personal, too tender, too risky. Did she freeze? Did her cheeks burn? Did her hands tremble? Or did she smile, softly, as if she had been waiting to hear it all along? They thought no one was watching. But someone always is. A crew member saw. And a whisper, once private, became a story that spread like wildfire. It wasn't caught on camera, no perfect footage, no official recording. But perhaps that makes it even more powerful. Because when something isn't seen, it's imagined. And imagination is always louder than fact. Whispers are dangerous things. They carry weight. They suggest secrets. They linger in the air long after they've been spoken. And for Tian Ning and Ziyu, this whisper became a spark. Some say it marked the moment their bond shifted, from co-stars to something more. Others believe it was simply a line, a fragment of a rehearsal, misunderstood. But here's the truth. Rehearsals don't leave people looking at each other like that. Not when the cameras aren't rolling. Let us pause here. Because this is not just about two actors. This is about the human heart. About the way we all crave connection. About how words, spoken quietly, can be louder than 1,000 declarations. Think of your own life. The whisper of a friend who said, "I'm here for you." The whisper of someone you loved who leaned in close and said, "Don't go." The whisper that changed everything. We all have them. And maybe that's why this story resonates so deeply. Back to Ziyu. Her response was everything. Not in words, but in silence. Because she didn't step back. She didn't laugh it off. She didn't dismiss him. Instead, she looked at him in a way that revealed more than language ever could. It was a look that said, "I heard you. I felt it. And I understand." Fans began to notice subtle changes after that day. The way she stood just a little closer to him during press events. The way his hand would hover protectively near her back, not quite touching but never far. The way their smiles seemed brighter when shared together. Coincidence? Perhaps. But those who believe in whispers know better. Let us imagine what that whisper truly meant. Not just words, but an unveiling. A moment where Tian Ning stopped being the polished actor, the professional co-star, the man bound by image and expectation. And for a breathless instant, he was simply himself. A man who cared. A man who risked. A man who wanted her to know. Ziyu, on the other hand, faced a choice. She could have ignored it. She could have shut the door. She could have chosen safety over feeling. But she didn't. Instead, she allowed the whisper to live between them. A fragile, powerful truth, suspended in the space of two people who know the world is watching, but for once didn't care. And that, perhaps, is why this moment matters. Not because it was scandalous. Not because it was dramatic. But because it was real. Real in a world built on performance. Real in a place where reality is often scripted. Real enough to remind us all that love, in its earliest stages, often begins as a whisper. So now, as fans replay interviews, study photographs, dissect every sideways glance, they return to this whisper. What did he say? Why did he say it? What did it mean? Maybe the specifics don't matter. Because the truth is, we don't need to know the exact words. We only need to know the effect. And the effect was undeniable. From that day forward, Tian Ning and Ziyu were no longer just co-stars. They were something more. Something hinted at in every interaction, every glance, every accidental touch. A story not written in scripts, but in whispers. So let us leave you with this thought. Love rarely announces itself with trumpets. It does not always arrive with fireworks or grand gestures. Sometimes it is quiet. Sometimes it is fragile. Sometimes it is hidden in the soft breath of words spoken too close to be heard by the world. And when those words find their way into the right heart, everything changes. They thought no one was watching, but someone was. And now we all are. Because whispers, once spoken, never truly disappear.